Good morning, my friends. I'm out here on my back porch, and this is my center tray of my can of worms. Um, it's been 1 month since I started this. Let me tell you, the setup is Sandra over at Nana's Worms and Garden. She wanted to have a little friendly competition on her worms against my worms on eating magnolia leaves. These are Magnolia Grandiflora, and as you can see, it's kind of a brownish on the backside and it's very soft. It's not at all rough, but on the front side, it's this very polished, waxy, glossy. The only thing I can relate to is, when you get apples that have been waxed and you think, oh my goodness, I think those need to be washed really well before I eat them. Well, that's this. This is just very, very glossy. I mean, you could even rub your nail against it, and I don't think it really breaks it up. So Sandra and she's over in Vancouver Island, and she and I are having a little competition with her worms eating them versus my worms eating them. So let me show you. Rick brought these home yesterday morning, and he brought home ones in different stages. So, here's one that he plucked right off the tree, and this was one that was like lower on the tree that was probably getting a little older as well. Let me see if I got any. And he brought home a couple that had been laying on the ground, and they looked like they were, from almost last year or so. And you can see they haven't lost the softness on the backside, but you can see on the front they've lost the color. So we're going to kind of use the fresh ones here, the fresh one here as a judge as to how things are going. So let me put my gloves on, and this is a can of worms, which is a 3-tiered system. It's got 3 trays just like this. It has a lid that goes on top, and then it has a well that sits at the bottom up on legs, so that I don't have to bend over to check it out or to feed the worms or anything like that. So the way I did this was I had, let me turn it so that I have it the way it was. There we go. And this leaf up here was to indicate, that leaf was to indicate where I had my leaves. And now that's starting to get soft. You can't do that with one that's still real fresh. And let's just claw back and see. I did feed them. Like I said, it's been a month. I did this the end of last day of March, and today is the last day of April. Now this one has a little bit, there's a worm, but it's starting to get a little crumbly. And I did a branch, just a small branch, and it had, I'm trying to remember, 5 leaves on it. And then I had some leaves sitting below it. So you can see that still has gloss on it. It's still starting to get dark, but it's still shiny. But again, they're starting to lose their stiffness. This layer really wasn't, other than just laying a little bit on it, it really wasn't getting fed. And I kind of did that on purpose because I wanted them to eat. Come on, I know you're down there. There's my stem. Here, let me put everybody over on the same side. Seems to me like it was a stem that had 5 leaves on it. And then I had like 3 leaves below it. More worms. It's not breaking up at all. There's another little one. This is interesting. Not really seeing all the that I thought I would. You guys carry my magnolia leaves off? What the heck? Interesting. Well, Sandra, I don't know what's happening with. Can you hear that wind? Whoa. I think Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz are going to be flying by here pretty soon. This was paper. This was just some cardboard. Wow. This is interesting. I'm getting a little anxious here. I can't believe the worms would have eaten that stem. There's more. Because I would think the stem would be about the last thing to go. A little bit more leaf. Lots of worms. No worm balls, but lots of worms because I didn't really put in much other than, I think I did put in a little bit of fruit for them. Nope, I don't see any. I thought maybe I confused myself with leaving a leaf at the top. The leaf at the top was to show where my experiment began in the direction that it had taken. So I'm going to, oh, that's cardboard. Okay, I'm going to take this again and make a bit of a divot. There should be at least 8 leaves here, maybe 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I don't think that's, I think those are that's another type of leaf that I had used. But let me just check over here. Oh, that's cardboard. That's another. Nope, nope, nope. There's her stem. Looks like maybe 11. Oh, that was the pointer. Okay, so I had 10 under, and then I had a pointer, so there was my 11. And these castings are looking pretty good, don't you think? They look like they're ready. And these worms are going, what the heck is going on? Okay, so here we have our tray, and we've got our side handles. So we're going to set this up again like this. And I'm going to say, hang on just one sec. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to give them some fresh greens. These are giant Japanese red mustard greens. Oops, let me just take that away. Give the worms something to really see if they can munch on it. That'll go down first. And then let's lay them out a little differently. Lay the stem there. I have to tell you, I'm amazed at what they've broken down in a month. This is just incredible. I'm going to save this leaf as our pointer. This is mush. This is from the NutriBullet, and it is banana mush, banana peels, strawberry chops, carrot. What else is in there? I'm trying to think. Anything we had in the way of vegetables. I think there were some broccoli peels from the stem, and it was all put in the NutriBullet with just a little bit of water, pulverized, and then I froze it in a container and then I let it thaw out. So that's really going to be a real draw for them. At least I hope it is. And I'm going to give them some ground oatmeal. This stuff really, boy, it really pulls them in. And then this is a combination of both eggshell and shrimp shells. And we're going to do that for their the grit for them, for their gizzard, and then the shrimp shells aren't really a grit. It is crumbly, but that'll go soft. It'll just add some chitin to it for them. And have we got anything else? Oh, I know what I'm going to add. I have some wet bedding. And this is just bedding that I've soaked in my worm tea. So that'll get things going. I mean, talk about an inoculant that you're adding to it. And then, okay, so we've got our 10 in there. We're taking this over. That's cardboard, I think. Yeah, it's a piece of cardboard. Yep, cardboard. And then we're going to take this leaf and lay it right on top this is where it all is. So this is it. This is month 1. And now this has a tray that goes on top of it. It's the tray that I'm feeding now. That this is, and then there's a tray underneath it. And the tray underneath it just has some shredded cardboard, so that if anything is leaking down underneath, it'll go to that shredded cardboard rather than always going down into the well. And I used to have so much stuff that would drain down in the well, and then the worms would go down there, and then, you know, there was a whole mishigas. It was a whole mess down in the well, and it was a heck of a problem to clean out, and the worms would get caught in the well. Oh, it was poor little thing. So anyway, we've kind of devised another situation. So I'll stop it here and say that, hey Sandra, come on, let's go with an update. Let me know how your worms are taking things down. I'm just guessing that this could be quite possibly only a 2-month to 10-week project on them actually getting into the leaf and really making some headway on it. So anyway, take care, everybody, and I hope you'll come back and keep up here with the can of worms and see how the East Coast Florida wigglers are going against the Vancouver vampires, and cheer us on, will you? So anyway, take care, everybody. I hope you have a great day, and remember to garden what you've got. Bye-bye.